So this is a KitchenAid Ultra blender. It has a metal case. It was a nice blender. I'd replaced the little clutch thing on there once before, but now it's not running at all. So what I'm going to do is take it apart and determine. Okay, so I've opened this up and I've removed the board, the control board down here, and what I want to do is test this control board, but first I want to test this motor, and so I'm going to hook that back up to the power. Okay, so now what I've done, I've hooked the electrical cord up to that. I'm just going to plug the this into 110 volts to see if that motor will run. Okay, so it'll run. It runs at full speed because there's no control on it, but at least I know the motor runs. So now I got to check out the control board. So this is the control board, which I removed from the unit, and the way that it's designed is it's a double-sided, and then what they do is they fold two boards together. These are actually separate PC boards that they fold together and mount against this frame. And what I suspect is wrong with this blender is this switch relay, this relay right here. And so I've broken this apart because I want to unsolder this relay. I have to get into the back and unsolder this relay. Okay, so now I've removed this little micro relay from the board here, and what I'm going to do is take the top off this. There's a couple little spots here and little pins. I'm going to just take this top off here. So with the piece out, what I did is get a disposable scalpel and heat it up and cut through the plastic enough until I could get the top off of the unit. And inside, it's difficult to see, but this contact here was frozen shut on this relay, and I broke it loose, but the contacts underneath here are too messed up to repair this, so I'm going to buy one of these little relays. These relays you can purchase online. They're about $2, $1 something to $2. Very inexpensive relays. So I'm going to purchase one of those, and then when I get it, I'll resolder it back in. So I went ahead and pried up the top of this relay, and you can see in here, hopefully, that looks like this had a massive arcing or something, but the contact here was melted to this contact, and the coil has arcing all over the top of it too. And this is the information as far as the relay here. So like I said, I've looked these up online, and they're $1 to $2.50 or something each. So I'm going to order one of these. So here we have the new part that I ordered. This is the old part, and you can see that these are these are the same part. Go for these. So what I'm going to do is solder this one in. You can see this has tabs on it. In this case there's 4 tabs. There's a place for a 5th tab, but that's not installed at the factory. Same way with this one, 4 tabs with an empty spot. So I'm going to install this little relay back into that circuit board and then test it. And these are, I ordered these from a company called Jamco, which is an old company, and they now take PayPal. And this, I think I got 5 of these for about $10, so they're about $2 each. You can also buy these on eBay, but the people selling them at the time when I was looking didn't have this particular one. There's a lot of these in this same little profile that you have to make sure you're getting the exact same one when you buy one. So you can see on, this is the circuit board, control board. So right here is where that part's going to go. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pins, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to sit just like that through those little holes, and then I'll solder on the bottom of this. I'll resolder it back together. One other thing too to note is there's slight discoloration here of the board where it got hot around these diodes. There's resistors, there's a diode down here, and I've actually checked all these in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this. I'm going to go ahead and put this in back into the board, and then test it that way. And if there's a problem with it, like I say, I got 5 of these, so I'll just pull it back out and look at it again then. So now the part has been reinstalled back onto the control board, and now I'll take and fold this control board back together and stick it back in the device. So now I have closed this control board back up, and the way that's done is you just fold it together and then use pliers on these little tabs. This is how you undo it also. You twist these little tabs to let them go through the slots. Or in this case, I fold it back together, twisted the tabs to have the things stay together. And now I'll put it back into the blender. So now to mount the keyboard, the control board back in there, these little rubber tabs have to go back where they were taken out of. And then the control board is actually going to mount to these screws here, and the wiring just connected, and then this fits down on these little rubber tabs, and these are the buttons that control the blender. So now I'm going to, actually the 3 goes this way, the 3 go that way, and then this goes up into there. And this little sensor here goes on the motor. It's sort of like a sensor in your car for the crankshaft, where it can tell the revolutions going around of the motor. Okay, so I'm going to put that back together. Okay, so now the control board is reinstalled and the sensor is reinstalled, and I'm going to put the bottom back on it, plug it in and try it. Okay, so the blender is back together and we can try it out. So it seems to work okay for a while. Give it some rougher treatment and see what happens.